Hey, good morning, Evergreen. The first week of March. We are well into it. Today is, March 7th, 7 days down. So how are you? How was the weekend? Hopefully it treated you well. We got another counselor message that we want to talk to you about this week. Today, we want to talk about being selfish. Do you guys know what it means to be selfish? Do you? Are you a selfish person? Are you selfish with how you treat people? Are you selfish with your friends? Are you selfish with your toys? Are you selfish with your things? Are you selfish in how you think? We want to talk a little bit about being selfish because that is not a quality you want to have. You want to be someone who is loving. You want to be someone who is giving. You want to be someone who is understanding. But being selfish, that really doesn't work for most people. So we want to have a little conversation around that. So this book is about being selfish. But I want to read a note. And it's a note to your parents about being selfish. Mine is a key word in most young children's vocabulary. And selfishness is often the most difficult step from early childhood to being later in life, whether it be middle school or high school. Therefore, it is not surprising that many parents have a hard time getting their children to share. So let me ask you, Evergreen, do you share? Or are you someone who always says mine? You will find if you are a person like that, if you continue to stay like that, people eventually won't want to be around you. They won't want to play with you, and they won't want to share with you because they won't think you'll be nice and they don't think you will share. So this book is about Katie and her friend Sam. Reading about Katie and Sam can help you understand and deal with being selfish. So what do you see going on here? There's Katie and Sam. Looks like Katie is playing with some toys and Sam is kind of looking over her like, what's going on? Is that what you guys see happening? Okay. Have you ever been with people who would not share their food with you? Oh, and I love food. I'm always eating food. I'm always asking someone, can I have some of theirs? So if I was around people who were selfish with their food, it would make me sad. May I please have some? No. So here they are. Katie with a very, very aggressive no when he asked if he could have some. Now, do you have to share your stuff every single time you have something? No, you don't. But if you're a person who never shares, you never ever let your brother, your sister, your cousins, your friends have anything that you have, that could be bothersome to them. Have you ever played with people who would not share their toys with you? I can remember being a kid and I had a next door neighbor. He wanted to play with my Spider-Man all the time, but he had a Batman and he would never ever let me play with his Batman. So eventually I actually stopped playing with him because he was so mean and selfish. So here we are, back to the story. May I play with one of your toys? No! So here it is. He's asked her again, can he play with something? And she has said no. So she said no to the food. She said no to the toys. There's a theme here. People who do not share are selfish. They care more about themselves than others. I'm going to read that again. Make sure you're listening. People who do not share are selfish. They care more about themselves than others. Ribbit. That means selfish and frog. So look at Katie. She's kind of looking over her shoulder as she has all of her stuff in front of her. Like she's being real protective of it because she doesn't want to share. Evergreen. Do you guys know anybody who acts like that? They never want to share their items. They're just mean to be mean. When you're with someone who is selfish, how do you feel? It makes me feel like we're not equal. You won't do for me like I would do for you. And so I tend to not want to be around that person because it makes me feel like they're not going to share. It asks, what do you think? I think this person isn't fair. I give you my stuff, I share my stuff, I play with my stuff with you, and you don't do the same with me. It would make me think that you don't respect me the same way I respect you. It asks, what do you do? I found when someone is really, really selfish toward me or around me, I tend to not want to be around them anymore. How does that make you feel? What do you think? What do you do when you have to be around someone who's selfish? Or are you the selfish person? Are you the selfish person? Are you the selfish person? Sigh. What do you guys see going on here? So it looks like Katie's playing a video game again by herself. Do you notice that Katie seems to always be playing or doing stuff by herself? She doesn't ask others to play. She doesn't let them join in. When people ask her can they have some or be a part of it, she always says no. So she's ending up being by herself a lot. When you are with someone who is selfish, you might feel left out, frustrated, and angry. You might not want to be with that person. Like I said earlier, when someone treats me that way, I simply don't want to be around them anymore. Will you play with me? No, thank you. Interesting. Now here Katie's asking the question, and she got a no in response. Why do you think he said no to her when Katie asked? Because Katie has been selfish. She hasn't wanted to share anything. She hasn't wanted to do anything with him. So here she comes all of a sudden saying, will he play with her? Well, who wants to play with a person that's always selfish? I don't. It is important to treat others the way you want to be treated. If you want others to share with you, you need to share with them. You need to be unselfish. I'm going to read that one again. Are you ready? It is important to treat others the way you want to be treated. If I treat people mean, can I expect them to be nice to me? Does that make sense? Nah. If I treat you nice, I expect you to treat me nice. If you want others to share with you, you need to share with them. Evergreen. If you want others to share with you, you need to share with them. You need to be unselfish. May I paint? Sure. What do you guys see going on there? What do you see? New girl comes in, asks them, hey, can I paint with you? Can I hang out with you? Can I do what you're doing? And he immediately said, sure. He's sharing. He's not being selfish. He's not being mean. Being unselfish does not mean that you have to share all your things all the time. Sometimes you cannot share. Gosh, what should I do? I have only one sucker. How can I share it with Tammy? As I said earlier, you don't have to share your stuff every single time. Sometimes you only have enough for just yourself. There's nothing wrong with those moments. You just don't want to be the person who has extra and who always says no. But you see, he's giving it some thought because he only has one sucker and he's not sure what to tell Tammy. You guys got some ideas what he's going to say to Tammy? What do you think he's going to say? What do you think he's going to do? Put the food away if you do not have enough to share. That's an option. Try not to eat in front of someone who does not have anything to eat. That's another option. Tammy comes over and says, hey, do you want to play? He immediately says yes. You see how when people treat each other with respect and they're not selfish, people are more inclined to want to be around you. They're going to want to play with you. They will share with you. They'll ask you to do stuff. But you also have to do the same to them. You have to treat people the way you want to be treated. Let's see what happens here. Try to be fair if you're going to share. Here's a good rule for dividing something. Let one person divide, let the other person choose. That way, everyone feels a part of the situation. If you just do everything yourself all the time and make all the decisions, and you are the one who has all the toys and all the games and all the foods, and you decide, people will feel like you're too controlling. So you want everybody to feel like they're a part of the process. I'll cut the piece of cake and you choose which half you want. And notice Tammy says, that's fair. That way they both were a part of the decision making. One person didn't make all the decisions for everyone. You might not want to share something that is special to you. Do not use the special thing in front of someone unless the person does not want you to use it. The person has something else to use. I'm gonna say that one again. Are you ready? Do not use the special thing in front of someone else unless the person does not want to use it or the person has something else to use. It's called being considerate of others. You can't just think about yourself, Evergreen. You need to think about those in your classroom, those around you, your friends, your brothers, your sisters, your cousins, at recess, on the playground, when you're hanging out on the weekends. You need to be considerate of others. This red car is very special to me. Could you use the blue one? Sure. You notice how they're communicating? They're sharing their feelings. They're saying really what they're feeling, but it's how they say it. When you talk to people this way, they won't be offended. They won't be hurt. They won't be angry when you say it to them a certain way. Sometimes it's not what you say, but how you say it. You do not have to share with anyone who is careless. It doesn't make sense to share your great toy or something that you love with someone who you know breaks stuff all the time, or doesn't take care of stuff, or doesn't return it to the person it belongs to. So you don't share with anyone who is careless. Put your things away if you think they might be lost or damaged. The last time Sarah got into my things, she ruined them. I'd better put them up. He's making a smart decision. Wouldn't make sense for him to let Sarah ruin his stuff again. What do you think, Evergreen? Good choice? If Sarah is one who's always messing people's stuff up, I would take care of my stuff. You can help other people take care of the things you share with them by doing these things. Show them how your things work. Give them an example. Show them how you are to play with it. Show them how to take care of your things, because at the end of the day, it's your stuff and you don't want it broken, lost, or stolen. You may play with my tape recorder, but I want to show you how it works, and you have to promise you won't take it outside. I promise. Nothing is worse than when you let your friends or your brother or sister use your stuff and they don't take care of it and they bring it back broke, or they make an excuse as to why it was broke. This is why sometimes you need to show people how to take care of your stuff. Be fair. If there is only one of something that must be shared by 2 or more people, take turns using it. Let each person use it for an equal length of time. You can even use a clock or a timer. If you and I are outside playing and I brought my bike out and we want to take turns riding, would it be fair if I rode the bike for 2 minutes and you rode the bike for 1 minute? Would that be fair? I don't think so. My time is up. It's your turn. Then it'll be my turn again. See, these two seem to get it. They respect each other. They're being kind to each other. and they're making sure that they are doing things equally. If you want to be happy, you should treat other people the way you want to be treated. This means you should not be selfish because you do not want other people around you to be selfish. Now see, these two get it. They have been very respectful of each other, and they look like they're pretty good friends. Evergreen, I am asking you to not be selfish. Do not be that person. Be someone who is giving. Be someone who is loving. Be someone who is kind. No one enjoys being around someone who is selfish. So, the goal for this week is not to be selfish. Stay well, Evergreen. Dr. T here, signing off, and I will see you next week.